If you're familiar with this space, trust me, I'm about to provide you with something amazing. Let's roll into it. You did it. You took the first step. Let's keep that momentum going. This podcast, Undisputed Execution, is for those who are done being average, that want to grab life by the horns, achieve success, achieve their goals. I'm going to go through my successes and my failures, as well as successes and failures of mentors of mine, friends of mine, and to kind of give you the painting to show you how to get it done. Let's stop wasting time. Let's dive right in. Welcome back to another episode of Undisputed Execution. My name is James, and I am super excited to have you guys here today so that I can tell you this amazing news. I'm finally getting the business up and running. We closed on the building that we wanted and finally picked up a bunch of furniture the other day. And tomorrow I'm going to go put the keys in the door and start filling this place up, and hopefully soon with employees as well. Over the last few months, I embarked on a journey that I thought was really scary for me. I know a lot of you out there that maybe have the entrepreneurial mindset or are in sales. You know, when somebody tells you, hey, you're going to be a 1099, everything that you do is just going to be commission. There's no salary. There's no protection. There's no net for you to fall into if you don't make it happen. And I started that journey, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know why I always get scared. Every time I've been in a sales force, I've always been a force to be reckoned with. I'm very competitive, and anywhere that I've been, I've received accolades for how great I am in the sales process and crushing, my goals. I've had large quotas that nobody thought you could break, and I broke them. I've brought in more money than I can think of, just, doing the job at hand and bringing what I bring to the table. And now with my business, I kind of put my mindset in the same way. And it's going to happen starting December 1st. We will open our doors. I will start interviewing, hiring, doing everything that I need to do to get people on board. And I was always nervous to hire someone because I didn't know how to do it legitimately with like a W-2 and making sure like they got paid, or, somebody handling payroll. Like I couldn't tell you the first thing on how to do payroll. But it was me, attacking my dream of wanting to do this. And I just happened to be talking to my accountant about my taxes for this year. And he says, James, we do all of that, right? Like we handle payroll. If you bring on somebody new, all you have to do is send us their information and we'll get them set up, in the system, and they'll have direct deposit, and we'll handle QuickBooks and everything for you, including taxes. And I was like, it's weird to me because my accountant for a long time, I'm like, the hell does he do for 7 months out of the year? I know people aren't doing their taxes in the middle of the year, and he explained that. He's like, yeah, well, of course. We do taxes at certain times of the year, but you think I just take 7-month vacations? No, our business does a lot of XYZ, and we can help you with that. That really unleashed the dragon for me, because I've been super highly motivated to make this happen, and I've been kind of derailed at the fear of like how to do that whole process or paperwork and not be protected as a business. And it's almost like I got the judge, the jury, the executioner, the law firm, the accounting team, the payroll team, everybody in one house. These guys help with everything. And actually one of my biggest mentors in my business career had actually led me to these guys. He said, hey, let my accountant do your taxes. He's great. He'll help you, because I was making a lot of money and I wanted to make sure that Uncle Sam didn't come get me at the end of the year. And they saved me. They helped me, live the American dream the right way. So I appreciate you guys letting me tell you that story. I tell you that because for a long time I lived in fear. I lived in like, oh shit, like that's just way too much. I will never be successful at that. So all these great strengths that I had, I let my weaknesses really tell the story for me and my path. And I'm done doing that. I now know that I have channels that I can go to for my weaknesses and bring those in, and their strengths and my strengths will be unstoppable. And it's crazy that I'm just realizing this now, because can you imagine the 22-year-old me thinking of this or knowing this information? I can only imagine at the age I am right now where I would be in life. But that's okay. There's always a time to start. Okay, I'm 33 years old, and my time to start was a couple months ago. I'm already made. My business has been very lucrative for me. Today, I put $2,000 down to fix my wife's car, and to do all the little extra stuff that you never want to pay for because you maybe living paycheck to paycheck, and those things are like, you know what, we're just going to run this into the ground, or until we got money, or until we absolutely have to change that part or put these things in. But this opportunity has given me the non-worry. I don't have to go, what am I going to do for food? Because I used to live paycheck to paycheck. Not even paycheck to paycheck. I used to live to paycheck to 2 days later. I would get paid, pay 3/4 of my bills, not have enough for the other bills, and still try to figure out a way to put food in the fridge, and to make sure that I had gas in the car to drive. So I've been there. This shit was not handed to me. I lived in fucking hell for a long time. A lot of you don't know what hell is, and I got to tell you, once you start walking up the steps and actually taking, one foot in front of the other and trying to reach your dreams and goals, you'll never want to go back to that fucking prison of life. And that is why now that I have kids and a family, there's no fucking way we're going back the other direction. My kids will never have to endure what I had to when I got out of high school and tried to do everything on my own, because I crashed and burned. I fucked my credit up as soon as I turned 18. I started buying shit like I was a boss, and for a year I felt like the coolest kid on the planet because I had all this nice shit, and then it's all getting ripped away from me. My credit's shitty. Nobody ever wants to work with you. And wow, it was a journey to get all that shit fixed. I can tell you now, if I would have had better guidance at that time financially, it wouldn't have been such a hard road. But I do got to say, now that this journey is happening, my mother has been so terrific on this path. I can't tell you. One of the nicest things I ever heard my mother say was just actually a couple days ago. She says lots of nice things. She's a very loving person. But this one, my mom hit my heart so hard that it just made me, it made me realize I'm blessed to, still have her in my life. And there's a story with me and my mom that goes way back. And I could tell you now that I love her more now than I ever have. She's a great grandmother, and she's been supportive of me this whole way. I told her, my mom used to help my uncle paint and remodel houses and all this stuff. And the other day I told her, we got a couple areas in this office that we want to get touched up. We need to have it painted because I'm not going to have some rundown show. I want it to be a nice place for people to come to. And I told her I'm out getting bids right now. She says, son, go ahead, get all the bids that you want, and I will come and do it for you. She's like, I would come do it for free just because I know I love you and I want to see you succeed. I don't know how many of you that maybe haven't heard that in your life, but that's probably one of the first times that's been verbally announced to me, like, hey, I fully support you. I would come and do hard labor in your office for free just so that you will succeed. Um, and yeah, I say painting's hard labor because I painted this back wall right here, and holy shit, I hated every minute of it. So you painters out there, more power to you. And then it's crazy. Within a couple days of each other, my mom tells me that she'll do this really great thing for me. And then my father does the same thing. My father and my wonderful stepmother, I pleaded out to them on something that I needed for my business. I said, hey, look, I totally understand. Here's what I need. And you two are the only people that I know that I can come to for this one thing. And I said, no pressure. Here's the details. You guys can do your research on it. And if you want to support me in this, totally fine. And if you don't, it's okay. I still love you. And it's a mile marker because I know my parents are very, very strict. They are not ones to hand shit out. They are not ones to really allow them to give you an opportunity to fail with them. And so I was shell shocked today when my dad texted me, said, sure, we'll do it for you. And if you knew my family, that's a big leap from my dad and my stepmom to be able to do that. Just because the way my family has been growing up, it's just kind of one of those things where the trust it has to be earned. I was a shithead. Me and my dad pretty much, I would say, hated each other through my junior high and high school life. Because I was an asshole, he was an asshole. Our mindsets, we didn't know how to get along with each other. And now I look at my dad, and when we're there, I smile, and just the way that my stepmom brought our family together is just everything is great. Everything's falling into place. There was a lot of dark roads, but guess what, folks? There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes you have to look at the man in there and go, hey, am I doing everything that I possibly can to make this family relationship better? And I wasn't at the time. And so I've been doing everything to become a better man, a better asset to my family, and my immediate family, my kids, and my life is changing. And it all started with something called The Secret. I don't know if you guys have heard of that or watched it on Netflix, but I watched The Secret. I won't get in depth in it at all, but it changed my life. And since then, I've just been climbing these steps, and I haven't gone backwards or even thought about falling backwards. I'm going to fail at things, but guess what? I'm going to fail, and I'm going to catch this rope, and I'm going to stay where I'm at or go forward. I'm never going to go backwards. That being said, folks, I appreciate you listening and telling my story about my success here. If any of you out there need help, whether it's building a resume, finding a job, interviewing skills, those are really big strengths that I have. I've been doing that kind of stuff for years. I actually did a resume class for a year and, helped people get beyond like new technology and barriers that actually remove your resume out of the system before you could even get a chance. And so if those are things that you guys need, or December 1st, when that moment comes along, you can email me. We can discuss. And if I feel like you'd be a good fit for what we need at the office, I'm excited to give back to this community and hire some folks. It's the holiday season. I can only imagine some people are needing that opportunity. That being said, thank you for watching Undisputed Execution. Again, my name was James. Have a great night.